Welcome back to the Compliance Kitchen. Today we will take a look at the August 24 Treasury Department press release where Ofac notes that they sanctioned 3 Paraguayan individuals, Qasem Mohammad Hijazi, Khalid Ahmad Hijazi, and Liz Paola Doldan Gonzalez for their roles in corruption in Paraguay, and Ofac also sanctioned 5 associated entities that were connected with various corruption schemes that these 3 individuals were involved in. So more in detail on the illicit activities. First, a little geography. So Treasury tells us that most of this activity took place in the so-called tri-border area, or TBA. So this is where Argentina, Brazil, and Paraguay share borders. And the area is marked by a large number of unregistered money exchange houses, trade-based money laundering through export and import, and also retail businesses in the electronics and automotive areas. And also there's a lack of awareness of money laundering and terrorist financing typologies and risk in the private sector, intensive use of cash, not just by individuals but also by businesses, and a large volume of transfers to high-risk jurisdictions. The TBA, or tri-border area, is also known for local dispatchers or despachantes, and these are individuals who built an expansive network of government officials and law enforcement to aid them in various activities, including bribing customs agents to accelerate movement of goods that are crossing the tri-border area, forging customs paperwork, so declaring less of an import value than it should be, because then you can pay less in import tax. More recently, they started also using their connections to boost money laundering activities. And so all of this, together with complex bureaucracies and opaque processes, amounts to a favorable environment for illegal activities. So in regards to this particular Ofac release, Qasem, which was one of the individuals who was listed, was also one of the despachantes in Paraguay and is said to now command and control a money laundering organization based out of Ciudad del Este in Paraguay. And allegedly his organization has the capability to launder hundreds of millions of dollars. And so to accomplish this, Qasem is said to maintain strong ties with Paraguayan politicians, police officers, DAs, several money exchange brokers located in the Ciudad del Este, who provide ease, security, warranty, and economic power that allow him to operate in the area since at least 2018. So the Ofac release further tells us that Qasem uses import and export companies such as España Informática S.A. or España, where he's the president of the company, to import goods from the U.S. for sale in Paraguay. He uses other despachantes to alter invoices and declared import values. So this way he's able to lower or avoid taxation on imported goods and to launder money through the importation process of basically undervalued goods. The sales proceeds from the goods sold in country are then moved through local banks and currency exchanges and are destined for various locations around the world. The government estimates that the annual volume of goods imported into Paraguay, in this case, was several $100 million. And so then we can move on to Doldan, which is the third individual that was listed or sanctioned under this action. So Doldan is said to be one of Qasem's associates, alleged to have paid bribes to port workers, other despachantes, and Paraguayan customs officials to process imports and exports through the Paraguayan customs. In 2008 and 2009, the then General Director of Paraguayan Customs increased and formalized a system of bribes, wherein the intermediaries had to pay Paraguayan customs officials. This, we're told, was to ensure that all of the customs officials get paid, get bribed. So the release also tells us that in July 2019, as part of Operation Phone Call, Doldan and her network were the targets of the Paraguayan Anti-Corruption Prosecutor's Office. The office conducted 15 raids to dismantle a scheme where high-end electronics were being imported again from the US into Paraguay and were subsequently undervalued in their tax declarations to lower or evade taxes. And then in addition, or I should say in more detail on this scheme, the release tells us that Doldan used her Paraguayan company called Mobile Zone International, Import-Export SRL, or Mobile Zone, to purchase goods from a company in the US. The company was based in Miami. The goods were shipped to shell companies in Paraguay. The bribed customs officers would identify the goods, which were cell phones, as printers or printer toner, so basically cheaper goods, and this would allow Doldan to lower the import tax valuation. And again, according to the Ofac press release and their sources, the scheme generated at least $675 million. Ofac designated these three individuals for being foreign persons who have materially assisted, sponsored, or provided financial, material, or technological support for, or goods or services to, or in support of corruption. This would be pursuant to Executive Order 13818. Ofac also designated the companies that we covered. I have all the supporting information as usual on compliancekitchen.com if you guys want to go look at the identifying information and more details on how this network was operating. And of course, the implications of these sanctions are that all property and interest in property of a designated person or company that are in the US or in the possession or control of US persons are blocked and must be reported to OFAC. Also, remember the OFAC's 50% rule, so any entities that are owned directly or indirectly 50% or more by a blocked person or persons are also blocked unless authorized by a general license or a specific license issued by OFAC, or if you have some other exemption. OFAC's regulations generally prohibit all transactions by US persons or within the US that involve any property or interests in property of a designated or blocked person. The prohibitions under these sanctions also include the making of any contribution or provision of funds, goods, or services to, by, or for the benefit of any blocked person, or, of course, receipt of any contribution, provision of funds, goods, or services from any such person.